December 12, 2009, history was made when Annise Parker became the first openly gay person to serve as mayor of a major US city. I remember when we sat down over a year ago, you described campaigning as a combination of a job interview and a bad blind date that goes on and on and on for months and months and months and months.
I still feel the same way.
Good, well that was my question. Is that how your campaign felt?
They all feel like that. There are highs and lows in a campaign, but essentially what you're doing night after night, day after day is going out and selling yourself. It's a singular product you're selling, and you're constantly introducing yourself to strangers and trying to make an impression. Part of how you manage that process is how you package yourself, and I don't mean that you change who you are or your core beliefs, but you figure out how best to present yourself to people, and that you have a consistent message. One of the key elements has been that I knew what my positions were on issues, I knew how to articulate those positions, and the answers didn't change over the course of a campaign. And so you're trying to make that good first impression on the blind date or for the job interview without hiding who you really are.
Exactly. And also in January you said, because of my sexual orientation, although I'm a strong contender, I have to work harder and I have to convince people to vote for me and allow me to work for them. So how hard was it?
This was a difficult campaign, but because I've been elected before and voters were familiar with me, I did start from some advantage, which is that voters had a good impression of me. I had very high favorables and high name ID.
And an observation that I had was the diversity behind your campaign. I mean broad diversity. How does having this rich diversity of people supporting your candidacy help the LGBT community? And more significantly, how does having the straight white conservative men openly working on your campaign help advance LGBT equality?
It shows what we can do when we all come together for a purpose rather than concentrating on the things that divide us. When you say that I had white business conservatives with me, not the usual suspects who get engaged in city races, but citizens who care about what goes on in the city, not interested in contracts, not doing work for the city. And I was able to reach them with the message. And there's an element of, well, she'll tell us the truth about her sexual orientation, she'll tell us the truth about anything. But the fact that if you went to my campaign headquarters, you saw all kinds of people coming in and out. If you sat in on the strategy sessions, you saw a range of people from across the city of Houston. And none of the other candidates in the race had the breadth of diversity. Diversity in background and ethnicity, but also diversity of thought. The one thing that they all agreed on was they wanted the best candidate for mayor who could run the city. The overwhelming media response allowed me to have conversations with people all around the world, not just about being a new mayor, but how the fact that Houstonians factored in my sexual orientation and still elected me should mean that people around the world, certainly around this country, can go after whatever position they want.
And I remember when the news hit the BBC, you know, coming from England and then seeing that it was on the British BBC was just incredible. When you were sitting
I was fielding calls from South America, from Japan, from Australia, truly the Basque country of Spain. And there was a combination of, wow, Houston elected a lesbian mayor, and Houston did this. And so I got to talk about my hometown a little bit too, that it very much what you can do, not who you are.
Repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Annise Parker,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the duties of the office
of
Mayor of the City of Houston
Mayor of the City of Houston
of the State of Texas,
and
will, to the best of my ability,
will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution and laws of the United States
the Constitution and laws of the United States
and of this state.
So
help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Annise Parker ran because she believed she was the most qualified candidate. Perhaps one day, instead of saying "that's so gay" to mean weak, we should actually be saying "that's so gay" to mean strong, competent leader instead.
What we fear in our imagination is always worse than what we actually have to confront.